Good morning. It's the pollinator. And you're not going to believe what just happened. I have been talking to myself for the last 15 minutes and forgot to turn on the video. So I've got to start all over again and try to recreate all the stuff I just said. Oh boy, that's going to be tough. Can't believe I did that. Anyway, the title of this vlog is going to be Blessed, because this past week has been such a blessing to me. My life moves in so many different directions. No 2 days are the same. You know, when you're retired, when you're not in the workforce, all of your days are different unless you're doing nothing at all. But I'm not that type of dude. I'm very active. I do a lot of things. I've got a lot of energy. I'm very hyper. And so like that. Anyway, I started out earlier before I forgot to turn on this vlog, saying that there are different definitions of the word blessed. And the one that I talk about, that when I say blessed, the one that I mean does not have organized religious overtones to the word blessed. It just means I'm favored. Yes, I am a believer. You know, God is in my life. God is everything to me. But I don't happen to believe in organized religion. I'm just a spiritual being who has a power greater than himself that it does amazing things in my life. I've had many miracles in my life. So, you know, I was talking earlier about getting into it with this guy because the post had something to do with religion, which a lot of Moors in this country are starting to, and outside of this country, are starting to realize that organized religion really isn't on our side. It was something that was given to us as the only thing that we couldn't even read, but just practice when we were brought over here and made slaves in this country. And then probably we'll get beat or killed, tarred and feathered if we learn to read it, that book, the Bible. So Christianity permeates most black people in this country. You know, there's Muslims, there's other religions, but Christianity is the biggest one. It's the biggest one around the world. But we are starting to realize that, look at all the things that they have done to us in the name of Christianity or as Christians, and not walking what they're talking or reading or practicing on Sunday or Saturday or whatever days they go to church. You're not living that stuff, then, you know, I don't know how you can call yourself a Christian. I know some real pure Christians. I know some people that they do practice what is in that Bible, but more times than not, they do not. And so, anyway, so back in July of 2017, I got the idea in my head to start a group on Fuckerbook, I call it, and it was an all-black group. I also had another group at the time that I was going to just juggle between the two. That was called Women Supporter of Trans Men. But the creation of that group, the black-only group, caused a lot of white people in the other group to lose their minds and think that they could do a dog pile on me and me not do anything about it. So I dismantled that group. I wasn't taking abuse for free from white people who had a problem with me starting the other group, as though I am, you know, one-dimensional. No, they were one-dimensional. I can move around any community. I can mix it up with anybody, anywhere, at any time. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what their ethnicity is. It does not matter to me. But that group for black onlys, which, you know, a lot of white people and non-blacks kept trying to get in there, upset a lot of people who, it wasn't inclusive of white people. It wasn't inclusive of non-black people. It was a black group. There's lots of black groups on that platform. But for whatever reason, the transgender people had a problem with them not being able to take up all the freaking space on that platform. That one was mine. That one was ours. That one was a place where we could heal. That one was a place where we didn't have to censor what we said, what we feel, what we experience 24 hours a day in the United States. But see, they want to infiltrate everything. They want to own everything. They want to control everything. They want to take up as much space in this country as possible when they've got all the space. We do not. So just as in society, you know, all over this country, you know, where we don't have any land, we don't have any space. Even when it comes to social media, they don't want us to have our own space either. So yeah, it was triggering a lot of people, you know, and it was like, And even the employees of that platform kept fucking with that group and just crippling it. They didn't delete it and disable it. They just crippled it so that nobody could see what was going on in there. And the purpose of that group, that is now turning into my organization, is a grassroots organization like none other, because it is pro-black. And it brings together cisgender, transgender, intersex, binary, Moors. And for anybody who's never heard me say that word or never heard of that word, that is, it's one of our ancient names before we came to this country, really created by the Spaniards or the Israelites or Arabs, one of those nationalities. Created the word Moors, but a lot of people in the United States have taken to claiming that word for who we are. And that group was just for us to do whatever we wanted to: educate, empower, heal, cry, scream, whatever we had to do to heal inside of systematic oppression around the world. So it's no wonder that platform and many people on it have issue with what I'm up to, because there's no other group that is bringing together all those different various types of people worldwide. It's an international organization. It is going to be based in the United States, but the members are going to be around the world, and they're all black. And so I took it upon myself after the beginning of 2018 to take a run at making this an organization. And I found a company, an organization that helps startups. And I went for it. I'm not a grant writer, but I put my heart, my soul, my foot, my arm, my legs, I put all of me into writing of that grant. And then I let it go, because I told one of my friends that, I don't know what I was doing. I'm not a grant writer. I'm a computer nerd. I write very well, but yeah, like that. And then I continued to try to get my book published, and I was getting pushback about that book about my autobiography, because again, capitalism and the people who are running capitalism and owning the majority of it in this country get to make up the rules. They get to make up who is or is not important, whose story they will or will not back. And I happen to know something about, because I research so much and I read so much, I know how it's supposed to work. And I've been running up against publishers and editors and people like that who don't know that I know that if they do a bang up job, all they got to do is take money from the royalties, but they're wanting to charge me up front. Those are the vulture literary agents running around out there that are suckering people into paying for their own story, doing most of the work to write it, and never even get it to a publisher. There are thousands of those people running around. But some of these legitimate publishers and editors out there are trying to pull the same kind of thing on me, or they don't want to take it seriously at all and just bounce me somewhere else. So I've been bounced all over the place trying to I stopped just sending my story to people because there is so much sensitive things about me. I don't want people reading my story who aren't going to be in my corner. I really don't, because they can just sit back and cast judgments and all sorts of things about the content of my book, of my story, and then brush me off. So I've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with other things. I've been dealing with that group, and I dismantled that group. I dismantled another group because the psychological effect of what those employees of that platform were doing to me was causing them, my members, almost 400 people, to go stone silent and become lurkers, where I was the only one posting in that group, me and one of my admins, a couple of my admins. And extraneous people here and there, but with 400 people there. And then there was something else going on in the background that I found out that I'm not even going to mention. But I was just letting people, do whatever they wanted to with that group because I knew I was going to kill it and figure out another way for us to communicate on that platform. So yeah, I dismantled that group, and I gave everybody 2 months opportunity to wake up in there, but they were all too busy doing something else. So I kept telling them I'm going to dismantle it, and I did. And then I got funded. TMBLM Incorporated is going to be coming live this month. I would have done it today, but I had trouble with the website and could not, I was getting errors. So I sent messages to them, and I'll just have to wait until they respond so that I can get that thing registered as a nonprofit. And it's going to be a 501c4, not a 501c3. 501c3s are extremely restricted in the things that they can do as a nonprofit. They gotta steer clear of politics. They have to steer clear of human rights. They have to steer clear of all of these things that make no sense for a business like mine, which is going to be about that. Civil rights of black people are being stripped right now, and we're being sent back to the Jim Crow era because of a shitload, millions of white Americans who want to take it there. And because of their privilege, they're getting away with that because we've got an idiot in the White House who has opened that door and let everybody walk through that door and try to take it back to a time when they think they had all of the marbles in this country. So I'm getting off track because I blew it and didn't have this stupid video on. But, so I'm going to kind of probably jump around compared to what I was doing. Yeah, I went in a straight line before, but now I'm like, my brain is frazzled because I did that. I'm having to try to figure out what I said and when I said it. Okay, so I also got into this thing about space. This thing about people not wanting us to have our own space. And it's kind of funny how that happens in this country, where we're only consumers of this land. We own nothing. We don't own land. We don't own businesses. We don't own anything. We're consumers. We feed the economy of capitalism in this country. And when we want our own space, they don't even want to give us that. I mean, look at what, in fact, they're doing the opposite. You know, look what happens when we're in their space. They call them the police and shit. So, and then they do that crap on the, now the police are the employees of that platform, and they're doing the same thing on that platform. Oh, God forbid you get in their space. What they think they own everything. Transgender, cisgender, intersex, it don't even matter. If they're white, they think they've got to take everybody's space. And if you come in that space and start talking about your agenda, they go nuts. They don't want to hear it. They're too fragile. But again, like I said, my friends on that platform know that it isn't personal that I don't have them in that group. They completely get it. But when I made the announcement that this business got funded, I put it in a bunch of groups. I thought they were all black groups, and there was just one that wasn't. I thought it was a black transgender group. Yesterday, this white guy went a little nuts in there talking about wanting to debate that the group is only black, and me being closed-minded and all this stuff. All this stuff that they fucking do to try to water you down. He rained on my parade. He was all butthurt because he couldn't be in a part of this organization. This is not the BLM, folks. This is not the Black Lives Matter movement. Even though it has BLM in the name of my business, it is not a Black Lives Matter organization. It's an organization that is making our lives matter. I don't know if you could hear the slight difference, but it's going to make our lives matter without them in our space, in our face, telling us what we can and cannot say, telling us what we can and cannot do, and all the rest of the shit that they do in this society. That is why that group is black only. I'm also admin for other groups that aren't. So, you know, that guy, I shut him down. Because it was like, you know what, there is no, I'm not, you one man, you one white man, you think you're going to fucking change where God has pointed me and told me to do as a leader in this country? No way. He doesn't know who I am. I told him, you know what, if you want to figure out who I am and you want to, I'm not going to debate this with you. You're not going to be part of my organization. But if you want to know why, you can look at my timeline. You can look at some of my vlogs. And something else, I can't remember, one other thing, that if he was interested in why I am the way that I am, he can go figure that out, because I post a lot of stuff. Oh, and my business page for TMBLM. But see, he's not interested in that. See, he's interested in debating why I'm not inclusive of white people and non-blacks. He wants to take up space. That one guy wants to take up all space for hundreds of people, and I'm hoping thousands of people that become part of this organization that are transgender, cisgender, intersex, Moors of all sexualities. Straight, gay, bisexual, lesbian, queer, intersex, all the rest of them. That is my target audience. This is my business, not his. He doesn't get to dictate shit, but he wants to. And so do all white people in these groups that they dominate in the numbers. Been there, done that. Since 2016, I've been going through this crap with being in mixed groups, which is why a lot of people have taken to, creating their own black only groups. I'm not the only black group on that platform, but I am the only one that has this particular agenda for this organization, which is to bridge the gap, the lack of understanding of straight folks and non-straight folks. They're fighting like mad on that platform about that. And because of Christianity, organized religions, you've got a whole bunch of hotep type people running around that hate LGBTQ plus worse than white people do. So my agenda is to educate us, to uplift us, to empower us. White people, and I'm going to say Hispanics, American Indians, Asians, they have not had in their whole culture stripped from them. So they have it, in that sense, they are uplifted just by their culture alone, where we don't have any. We do have a culture, but it's all mixed up with bullshit, oppressive stuff. Whole bunch of slave mentality, black people running around, and then you've got people like me who have broken loose of that mentality. And yeah, we're gonna get pushback. That's what the pushback of my book is all about. That's why they get to try to say I'm a nobody and, I'm a unknown. Well, that's get ready to change, isn't it? They're not going to get to say that. They're not going to get to use that excuse. They may try to use another excuse, but they're not going to get to make that excuse that I'm an unknown, because I'm getting ready to become real known. And somebody. I already am somebody. They're just doing a privilege number on me and, cock blocking my efforts because they can, because they're holding all the cards in this country. And monopolies are being allowed to thrive, and they're being allowed to thrive and jump in bed with each other to become even bigger monopolies. A lot of people who weren't around when I was growing up don't know that it hasn't always been that way, and that monopolies used to be broken up by the government. But now the government and business and politics and everything in this society is becoming white nationalist society, not democracy. So yeah, I'm going to make a difference in that conversation, in that narrative. I don't care if they don't like it. That's what I'm about. That is my purpose in life. God revealed it to me in 2016, and I've been beelining it towards that ever since. And that's why he opened this door to at least get startup funding, and then I'll be looking for other funding to do some real special things for black people in this country, Moors in this country, and internationally. And especially trans men, because I'm a trans man. The trans women already have lots of resources in this country. We're the ones that are lacking. My business is going to fill a little of that gap too. So whoever you are, I don't even remember the guy's name. See you later, bye. It's your problem that you have a problem with my business, but it's my business. There's nothing you can do about why I created this business and structured it the way that I did. If you're smart, you wouldn't argue about that, because you don't know who I am. You don't know how strong of a man that I am, and how I don't tolerate bullshit for very long before I'll just block your ass. I don't care who you are on that platform. I'll do it to you. So, but again, my allies, my white brothers and sisters out there, they know where I'm coming from, and they don't take it personally that I'm about uplifting myself and my people. They know they are privileged. They know They already live in a society that is already uplifted for them. They know this. See, it's the ones who don't know that who want to stir up trouble when it comes to us uplifting ourselves. Y'all not going to do it. You never have. The whole civil rights movement and the reason why white people jumped in bed with black people at that time was Vietnam. It had nothing to do with black people and civil rights. The black civil rights leader had to do with that. And when it really boiled down to it, they got infiltrated by white people, they got infiltrated by black people, and they got taken down. They got murdered, they got killed, they got rid of them. And the FBI was paying informants to get inside of all of the civil rights movement and dismantle it, including the Black Panther Party. So I want to hear it when it comes to your tears about us wanting to get our civil rights and liberties back. We made progress in the civil rights era, but we never got full equality rights in this country. Unless you're not paying attention, Jim Crow is back. So you need to sit down somewhere instead of trying to confront somebody like me who is a pro-black man. Doesn't mean I'm anti-white, but if you try to kick up that white privilege shit to me, I'm going to become even stronger pro-black to you. I won't even care. So, yeah, no, get away from me. Get away from me, get away from my people, get away. You know, Michi X speaks like this. There's another guy, I don't even know if I want to mention his name because I'm not exactly sure where he's coming from. I've tried to join his organization, but he's putting me on the back burner, so I'm not going to mention his name. But there's quite a few pro-black people running around that platform who, yeah, y'all are scared. You don't have any reason to be scared. All we're trying to do is be free. For the first time since the world got colonized by you. Anybody got a problem with that? You're a racist. You don't want to see that happen. You think it's going to strip you of your privilege, your supremacist attitudes. Now, the only true supremacists are the ones that are in control of everything, and they're rich. The rest of you aren't supremacists. You're just privileged, and they're using you too. But you know, as long as you got somebody you can step on, you don't care that you're not a supremacist and that you're in the middle between the oppressed and the supremacists. All of this stuff is things that we talk about amongst each other. We can't talk about this stuff around y'all. You try to debunk when we want to talk about this stuff. You try to put us in our place. You try to make us toe the line. You try to make us step it and fetch it. The only things we're allowed to do in this country without being bothered is entertain y'all. And then you get to make up rules like you're making up with the NFL. That they can't stand up for civil rights because they're entertaining you. And y'all don't want to freaking see it or hear it before the game starts. Police. If that isn't racism, oppression, privilege being smeared in our face all the time, and then you want us to like it, and you want us to forget, I'll let the Christians forgive you. I don't forgive you for doing that. If you're like that, stay the hell away from me. I don't want anything to do with that because I already have to deal with that when I walk out my door every day. So, hell, I'm going to deal with that in my own business and on social media platforms. You'll get smacked down before I do. Or if I do, I'm going to take you. So, just don't do it, people. Use your heart. Use your brain if you have one. This stuff is irrational. So anyway, yeah, and this guy was trying to rain on my parade when I posted the announcement that this, TMBLM is becoming a business. He tried to rain all over that. He didn't say congratulations or none of that. He just wanted to argue and debate with me about why it's pro-black, all-black organization. You better go run to another all-black organization that's LGBTQ and argue with them about why they're not black. I don't understand why you guys do that. Doesn't change anything. You're not going to change anything. Support us from a distance or stay away. Yeah, like that. So, as a business, I'm going to be able to do some great things for a lot of people. And, you know, all of my friends are happy that I'm happy. And the ones who aren't are just haters. And they've got some internal fucked upness in their mentality that they can be anything but happy for something like this to come along, for someone like me to come along, for God to empower someone like me in the position that I'm in, as a veteran, as a transgender man, as a black man, as an alpha male. Who spreads joy almost every time I walk out this door. And it doesn't matter who it is. Black, white, Native American, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter. I spread joy. And the only time people don't see me doing that is when I'm busy or I'm working or, you know, I'm focused. And even then, I still mix it up with people. And I've got a lot of children and just stepchildren and just a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff going on. And God chose me because of who I am. Anybody wanting me to be anything other than who I am has a problem within themselves. So, yeah. And then, my best friend closed on his first home. And so I spent last weekend with him. We had a blast, and it was so peaceful there. Oh, my God, it was peaceful. We ended up bonding in a way that we haven't in over 2 years that we've known each other. I think we've known each other almost 2 years. But so I got to be happy for him. He got to be happy for me. My friends are happy for me. You know, people who feel me here. People who feel me here. People who understand what I'm about are happy. Ones who don't, I don't care. I ain't looking for popularity. I'm not looking for your approval. I don't care if you like me. Too many people love me. So I don't care who doesn't. Literally, that's the way that I have been raised in Alcoholics Anonymous and as a public speaker for Landmark Education. That, you know, I don't pay no attention to who don't like me because I like me. I don't pay attention to who don't love me because I love me. Well, I care. You got a hater problem. That's going to eat you, not me. Eat you inside. See? Miserable people that want, you know, misery loves company type of thing. I ain't coming with you. I'm staying in happy land. I don't want nothing to do with your grumpy asses who got problem with everything and you're triggered about everything and you're reacting to everything and you got a problem with everything and you're a victim of everything and you're all this shit that is negative. And then you put a sweet little label on it like, no, let's debate this. No, motherfucker, you stay miserable and you stay the hell away from me and you stay over there because I'm not debating the happiness and the joy that I'm going to bring to my people with this organization. That's what I want to do to you. Michelle K said, she wished she had a slap a motherfucker in the face app on her phone. So whenever somebody says something stupid, they get slapped upside their fucking head for being ignorant and a moron and an idiot and stupid. Slap a motherfucker. Yeah. Somebody needs to make an app like that. You could turn the phone around and point it at people and see a hand go like that. That would be cool. Somebody needs to make that app. I'm sure there are lots of artists out there who know how to do such. Well, artists who know how to write software for cell phones that can make a slap a motherfucker in the face app. That's funny. I really like that one. But anyway, I just wanted to give everybody an update. My book has gone nowhere, but with the me being the president and the founder of this business is going to put me on the map. I'm also writing an op-ed that is going to go live and probably national, that's going to not only announce my business but who I am as my father's son. It's going to come out. It's got to come out because people want to play games with my book. So I'm going to come out onto the national stage in writing. I also talk about this platform who's been screwing with me, and whew, I got a lot going on, but you know what? My excitement is, supersedes all of the negativity that people like to create in other people's lives. They're not going to tear me down because God has got my back. My friends have my back. Most of my family has my back. So ain't nothing y'all insignificant people can do to break me down. And even when I get broken down, I've got enough freaking sense to ask for help to bring me out of dark places. Being an entrepreneur can be a very lonely life. Being who I am is kind of lonely because a lot of people aren't on the same page as me. They don't, they may even be on the same page, but they're not walking alongside of me through this journey, this business, this dream that I have. And it's coming to fruition right in front of my face. I guess God said, you know what, you're ready. So here. That kind of thing has been going on since, and when I first clean and sober, hell, it was going on even before that. Me joining the military when I did was a lifesaver for me. Even though people don't understand that today, why a black person would join the military. But you know what? The 70s was a different freaking time than now. No, I wouldn't join now. No. I would not serve for your freedom to be free to hurt us and to hate us and to kill us and to call police on us and to do all those sneaky shit you do behind closed doors to us. I would not serve for your freedom to do that today. You'd have to pay me millions of dollars to do that. And since, you don't get paid like that in the military, I wouldn't go in the military these days. They targeting us to the transgender people too, while everybody's sitting around going, Today, no. Back in the 70s, yes. I got a very lucrative career out of that. So, what? Woo. Yeah, for all the naysayers that, are poo-pooing black people joining the military or even becoming the police, which I think is ridiculous. But joining the military, it's like, well, you know what? That can create a very lucrative career for somebody someday. So I'm not going to get in their way. But this is a grassroots organization. Nobody gets to say that I'm not part of that because I'm starting it. I'm not just joining one. And I am blessed. I'm not going to say too blessed to be stressed because this stuff is stressful. But I'm having fun. So, you know what? I don't mind losing, losing hair on my head or anything else that it's going to take for me to fulfill my hopes, my needs, my desires, my dreams, my goals. I don't care what it takes. I want to be free. And I want to free a lot of other people who aren't being freed by non-blacks in this country. No, you're not. There may come a time when you will be able to fight with us if there ever is a revolution like that. But in the meantime, in between time, people aren't. We're the ones upset about what's going on in this country and barking the loudest like we always do. But non-blacks, they're not very many compared to the size of the United States, and the millions of people who are here are really starting something to stop the nonsense. Stop the hatred. Stop the racism. Stop the supremacy. Stop white nationalism. This ain't no democracy right now, people. And if you think it is, then you are ignorant as fuck, okay? This isn't a democracy right now. The direction that idiot Cheetolini has taken this country in is anything but that. Not democracy. They're breaking all sorts of fucking laws. They're breaking the Constitution all over the place. And everybody's sitting around going, oh. And then you got the ignorance that are running around talking about, he's doing a good job. Really? What planet are they on? That they think that motherfucker, he's doing a good job for white folks. The upper echelon of white folks, he ain't doing the right thing for people who aren't. But, oh my God, I've gotten in some real scuffles with people who think he's doing right by them just because they're white. Yet they're working three different jobs to keep up. Is that righteous? You don't even got time to spend with your family. You don't have time to you don't get time to spend with your friends. You don't get time to spend with your loved ones. You don't get time to do hardly anything working three jobs. So get fuck out of here with that idiot is right for this country. If he's right for this country, then you are mentally ill. Wow. Something wrong with it. Elevator ain't going to the top. If anybody thinks that, or you're just a racist, okay? So you're having fun watching him tear this country apart. But, okay, I've made this vlog long enough, and I'm sure I forgot to say a lot of things because I had to start all over, but I'll make another vlog. I dressed up for the event of announcing TMBLM, Trans Male Black Lives Matter, becoming incorporated, becoming a nonprofit in this country. And I hope I can do some great things for humanity. The Pollinator out.